Welcome back, trainers, and we're going to be doing some more Remix Cup battles. This is going to be the last video you're going to be seeing of that on this channel until they bring it back whenever. And we're going to be looking at my favorite team to use in the Remix Cup, and that is going to be my Shadow Mawile, Toxicroak, and Sableye. Now, this is going to be a very risky team to use because of the abundance of charm users in this league, but if you're comfortable using it, you know what you need to do in certain situations, you're going to be able to be okay. Toxicroak, not necessarily weak to charm, but taking a lot of damage, also has that super effective Sludge Bomb to help you go up against those charm users, one-shotting them potentially. And we also have Iron Head on Mawile. With that said, let's get into the commentary here, folks. And also, if you haven't done all of your sets for today, maybe you want to save the last one because we're going to be getting Ultra League tomorrow. And I personally did save my last set. I just did 4. And for the last and final one, I do go into the Go Battle League, and then I do back out, so it's just nice and locked in there and ready to go. With that said, Machamp hitting me with Payback with the Sableye. I couldn't believe it. It was doing a ton of damage, as you can see. We're able to survive at least and get off that play rough and get a shield out of them. So that was very unexpected, getting hit by that Payback on the Machamp, but it's okay. We'll see what we can do from this situation here. Going in with the Toxicroak and letting this Cross Chop go through and farming them down, have a decent amount of energy, not too much health, but that's okay. Bringing in the Muck. Since they did that, there's got to be something back there weak to Toxicroak. So they're letting it go through and it's a Wigglytuff. Okay, not necessarily. We can get it super effective, so we just need to get this shield out of them, build up to Iron Head, and then we're going to be able to take him out. Come on, Mawile, you can stay alive. All right, looking good. A powered up Iron Head that's going to easily take out Wigglytuff, especially at half health. Looking good. Moving on to our next opponent. Let's see what we're going to be met with. I'm very excited for the Ultra League. I have some new Pokemon that I powered up with XL, as well as some just new additions to the team. So we have a Meganium lead. We all know that this is fantastic here. Getting hit by an Earthquake will KO, so we kind of need to be cautious about that. Frenzy Plant is going to do a decent amount of damage, but we can survive it, while the Vine Whips are doing not very effective. So if we would have called that correctly, we could have saved ourselves a shield, but that's fine. They're swapping into Vigoroth. Remember, if your opponent is building up to their super effective move that is going to potentially take you out in one shot, and then there's also the option between them using that and then going for the other move that's not very effective. It's a gamble. I mean, I've said it before, I'll say it again, don't be hard on yourself if you don't call it correctly. I mean, if they come in with a new Pokemon and you were counting and you know for a fact that they were not at it, well, that's where knowing and counting those quick moves is going to come in extremely handy. But sometimes you just get lost in it all in the battle. They retreat their Pokemon. You forget how much, but yeah. So we're bringing in our Mawile here to absorb the Frenzy Plant. Looking good. I thought they might have had an Earthquake by then, and they do have a Registeel in the back. Mawile, you give it an inch, it will take 2 miles. Let's see here. And well, we're down a shield. We have no shield, so we're not going to be able to shield this up. But before it did go down, it did do a lot of work. And you're going to be seeing it sweeping teams here in a moment, making people quit out. Mawile, putting in some nice work. Okay, I didn't mean to do that. And I seen it had like 1 HP. I thought it had a little bit more. I just didn't want to be, you know, taking any chances. We're just going to automatically take it out there. A little overkill. So we're getting 4 wins minus the 1 from the Metagross from the last video that we lost with. On to our next opponent, and we're going to be met with a Baston. We love this lead here. They're instantly retreating into their Sableye, and we're going to go ahead and go into our own as well. If we come out on top, they're more than likely going to come back in with the Bastiodon, and well, we're going to be able to go back in there with the potential Toxicroak. We'll see. Alright, so we are going to go ahead and match them for a shield on the Sableye, getting to another one of these. I do believe we're going to be able to win CMP here, charge move priority. Yeah, definitely, because we are at a higher level. Our attack is going to be maxed out at 15, so there's no way it can be higher than us. So if you did have a more defense-heavy Sableye and you had lower attack, you probably would lose that CMP. So they're going to be bringing in the Bastiodon. No shield on both ends, and yes, I did use both. It's just what it is going to be because we have such a good matchup up against the Bastiodon. More than likely, they have a Charm back there or a Flyer. Let's see what it is going to be. Going in here with the Toxicroak, and we're going to have to just obviously take this Flamethrower here. Doing decent damage, but nothing too worrisome. So we're going to go ahead and go for the Sludge Bomb here. As soon as we get this off, we want to retreat. I think they're going to... Yeah, they had a charge move locked in there. Let's see, probably an Ice Punch. Oh, it's a Power Up Punch. Okay, sounds good. So we want to kind of maybe keep that Toxicroak alive to just simply handle the Bastiodon with whatever little health it does have. And we're going for the Power Up Punch. At this point, all we need to do is really just vamp up the Fire Fang to take that thing out. We need to get to the Bastiodon. I do believe Mawile may be able to do this. Oh, never mind. Definitely not. So Toxicroak will come in here looking good. They would probably almost do another charge move there. So luckily we're able to take him out before that happened. Good game. Moving on to our next opponent. Met with a Seeking bad lead. Let's see how we perform for this one here. Swapping into the Sableye instantly. They're probably going to go for that Icy Wind on us and then retreat into something, lowering our attack. And there they go for it. We're going to go ahead and let it go through. It's going to do an okay amount of damage, but it's fine. And they're bringing in their own Sableye, so, well, this is still going to hurt it quite a bit. Alright, looking good, even with an attack drop. Can we make it to another one? They wanted to farm us down, but unfortunately now they're going to have to commit a shield, which is great. But they're going to oh, that's just perfect. They went for their charge move. We had a tie there, and we're able to win with our higher CP. Looking good. Going to come back in here with the Toxicroak and just farm down. We're going to let this one go through, no problem. And it is a foul play. It's not very effective, but still putting a hurting on Toxicroak. And we're going to be putting a lot of hope into that Mawile here. And Toxicroak is loaded up on energy up against a Seeking with no shields, going for the Sludge Bomb. And then retreating into Mawile instantly, and they have a Pelipper back there. So, did I get nervous when I saw this? I mean, not really. I've done Iron Head up against a Pelipper before. It's not very effective, but you're going to see just how much damage it does do, even though it is Water type. So yeah, very squishy, no problem at all. We're just going to have to make sure we do play this correctly, resisting the wing attack, so at least we have that going for us. But the Weather Ball is going to hurt quite a bit for neutral damage. And there it is, and we're getting to another one here, getting a little close to the wire. Toxicroak is holding on with a little bit of HP in the yellow, and down goes the Seeking by Mawile. Looking good, taking out Pokemon that are resisting fire. Alright, sounds good to me. Into the next battle, we're met with another Bastiodon here, and you're going to see a pattern, folks. Man, keep bringing on these Bastiodon, Shadow Victreebel, and Medicham teams. I love them. Let's go. Especially with this team that I'm using here. So to win this matchup, you're going to have to use a shield on your regular Mawile or your Shadow. And these power-up punches are starting to really add up. A lot of people like to shield the second one because it's going to be doing a lot, but they're letting it go through, retreating into their Meganium. Alright, this is the sweep I was talking about. This is one of them. So we're going to go ahead and shield up our Mawile here, absolutely, using our last shield, and I don't mind that at all. We have already vamped up our Fire Fang. Not once, not twice, but 3 times now, and we're doing a ton of damage. They back out. They must have had, like, Shadow Vic in the back? I don't know what they would have. That wouldn't make sense because I have Meganium. But nonetheless, we're taking the win. They still had 2 shields. Must have been something weak back there. So on to our next opponent. And it is going to be an Altaria. We love this as well. See, this is why Mawile is such a good lead. And to answer somebody's question that said this on Twitter, and this is a perfectly good question. And they said, why do you think Shadow Mawile is so good if it's ranked so low on PvPoke? Well, that's why it's called the Meta Wrecker, because it's not meta, but it wrecks all the top Pokemon. Well, a lot of them, okay? Not all of them. The meta has shifted quite a bit ever since the rise of the Meta Wrecker Mawile. But it's performing so well because it has such good key matchups against a lot of the top hitters on the top of the list. But at the same time, it also does not so well up against quite a few Pokemon, and it could really just get walled. I mean, there's not much more to say. You've seen the performance here, and as simple as that, all right? Just because something is ranked really low, or I guess you could say really high on PvPoke as far as not so good, doesn't mean it's not going to be good. As far as anybody's concerned, this thing can come out of the blue, throw everybody off, and actually perform great because it has such good matchups against the meta that everybody's using. Hence, the Meta Wrecker, and that's why we are using it, and that's where we came up with that name for it. Anyways, they're going in and catching a Mud Bomb with the Altaria here, so that's great. That's perfectly fine. We're going in with Mawile, and just doing a little bit more damage. Gonna go ahead and go in here with the Sableye. I was thinking about going in with Toxicroak, but we're not gonna do that because they're gonna farm us a little bit extra, and then they'll have enough to just go to town with these Frenzy Plants here, and that was a big mistake. To be honest, I kind of played this out a little bit sloppy, but still taking the win there. Looking good. Another 4-1. Yep, there it is. So I think I've just about finished my Galarian Stunfisk XL. It needs like 1 more power up. because I've hatched so many of those eggs, I was just, just getting them left and right. All right, on to our next battle here. We're met with the Mandibuzz, and this is a good matchup for Mawile. It's not necessarily super comfortable, like it's going to be able to take a bunch of hits. They're resisted, but we're going to be able to put on the pressure because of the Fire Fang. It's neutral and it's doing a lot of damage. And what we're also going to do is vamp it up with the Power Punch. We could build up to that Iron Head and give the illusion we're going for it. But I've seen so many people shield it at this point that I figured just go Power Up Punch, and we're going to be able to pretty much go head to head here. And we're going to have to use a shield. They're going to have to use a shield right at this point. And let's see if they want to commit to 2. And they're letting it go down. Mawile's taking that win. Very nice. In comes the Cresselia. This is a bit troublesome because they're farming a lot, but we get a shield. So with a Power Punch, they must have been smacking themselves over the head right there. But all right, so we're in here with Sableye. Moonblast is going to hurt. They bait us, figured that was going to happen, and now we're going to get hit by that Moonblast, which is going to be super effective, but it's not going to be enough to KO. And neither is the Psycho Cut because it's resisted. And they have a Regirock in the back. I got to give them some props for that spice there. Very interesting. And we're in here with the Toxicroak. Not very effective Stone Edge. I'm expecting them to probably only have 1 charge move on it. I don't know. Maybe they're just having a little fun, right? So we're able to have a good matchup against that. Shields down. Toxicroak in here up against Cresselia. Going for the Sludge Bomb and taking the win. Thank you, Toxicroak. Looking good. This is so good. I enjoy using Toxicroak so much because it doesn't have that weakness to Charm. It's taken a lot of damage, but it is a fighter getting stabbed from counter. Has good moves, but it's not taking super effective damage. So anyways, good matchup against Bastiodon. They're throwing in something to catch our Power-Up Punch. It's going to be a Jellicent. Absolutely perfect. We're going to go ahead and throw in that Sableye here. We're looking great. Now, what we need to do is come out on top. It doesn't matter if we have to use 2 shields. We're going to make sure we win this matchup here. Simple as that. Like we said before, we had such a good matchup with the Bastiodon. More than likely, there's going to be a Flyer or maybe a Medicham in the back, in which we're going to be able to maybe handle that with the Toxicroak to some degree. Going to have to really have some finesse with that. But we need to make sure we win this. So they're not going to put up too much of a fight. Going to come back in here with the Bastiodon. And I don't know if they would want to really farm down here. It's going to really start adding up with these. Oh yeah, it looks like they can farm. Yeah, no problem. They'll have a lot of energy here. We really didn't put too much of a hurting on that thing. Bringing in the Toxicroak and letting this go through. Flamethrower is not a big deal. Stone Edge is not very effective. They're swapping into a Shadow Victreebel. We're going to go ahead and bring in the Mawile and do the Mawile thing. In comes the Bastiodon, and well, that was just beautiful. Whoa, this is why I'm saying keep bringing on these Bastiodons. Keep bringing on these Victreebel Shadows. I love them all. Let's go. All right, on to our next opponent here, folks. If you do enjoy my videos, give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new, turn notifications on. Next opponent is going to be leading with a Purified Sableye. And as I can see here, it looks like it is a bit of an XL. And we're going to go ahead and shield this up. It is not very effective, but I want to maintain a little bit more health here just to feel them up to see if they're going to want a shield too. And we're getting a shield from a Power-Up Punch. That's really good. So we're going to go ahead, I think, double shield this. Yeah, we're going to go for it. Going all the way here, but they're swapping into their Cresselia. We're going to go ahead and bring in our Sableye. Reminisce from that last battle here. They're going to go for a Moonblast because shields are down. I don't expect them to not have it. But that's okay because we're still putting on a ton of pressure with both of the stab moves that we had. So there it goes. Resisting the Psycho Cut. We're going to be able to get to another foul play. This is not going to KO, but it is going to do a lot of damage. Beautiful. And we got to it at the same time, basically. So that was perfect timing. So it was not even a Grass Knot. All right, so down we go from that. No shields from both of us. We're going to go ahead and bring in the Mawiles. Contemplating bringing in Toxicroak and farming down with that. But we're just going to go ahead and go in with the Mawile here. They're bringing in that Sableye. We're going to be able to take them out. What do they have in the back? Registeel, instantly swapping into our Toxicroak. And, well, the rest is smooth sailing. Nothing else to really do here except for counter that thing down, do that Mud Bomb, and we're looking great. They're going to go ahead and throw a charge. I love their fighting spirit. They said that you're not taking me down without a fight, and looking good. On to our next opponent here, folks. What are we going to be met with? Give me a bad lead. That's a bad lead. Perfect. How we play out of this? Well, it's not too difficult with this team. Depends on what they have in the back, right? They're swapping into a Shadow Mawile up against Toxicroak. I felt bad. Sorry, Mawile. Sorry, pal. Taking it out instantly. They didn't shield it up. And they're kind of maybe just using it as, like, I don't know, as a thing to just take some damage down off the Toxicroak. So down we go with energy. Was that a mistake? I could say no and play it off like this was planned, but I want to be honest here. No, I did not mean to do that. I should have got off the Mud Bomb, but it all works out really good at the end. I honestly was almost about to hit back out when I did go down, when the Toxicroak fainted with all that energy. Bringing in the Bastodon, we're swapping into our Mawile here, and I'm thinking, okay, we can work with this here. We're definitely going to be able to pull this off. We have 2 shields. Oh yeah, resisting that smackdown. Oh, easy money. Let's get it. So going for a flamethrower, shielding it up. Yep. Going for another power-up punch. This is really going to start putting on the pressure for that Bastodon. And they're still not shielding it up. They got that Medicham over there, but it's not going to be able to resist fire. And it is starting to add up here. We're going to let this go through. That's a power-up punch. Oh, it's a nice punch. All right, miscall on that. And we're getting to the power-up punch, which should be enough to almost take it out with maybe one more Fire Fang. And there it is, looking good. And we're going to be able to get another 4-1 with this team. Just keep it going. Man, you know, I really wanted to keep using this team constantly, but you guys wouldn't want to see this all the time, over and over and over every single day. All right, next battle. Oh, here we go. Time to melt some Pokemon. Shadow Vic lead, swapping into Deoxys. This is the easy money. Let's go. And this is where you say, you know what? Go Battle League has a bit of an issue. What is that? Well, if you get hard countered once, not once but twice, and then potentially 3 times, well, yeah, I mean, I guess that's on you for building that team, but I mean, it's not a bad team. It's just Pokemon Go. Unfortunately, you get them locked into this situation and there's nothing they can do. So we're just going to town here. Do believe we'll shield this up because we just want to preserve this health here. What do they have in the back? What do they have? It's a Bastodon. Okay, well, let's get it. We have that Toxicroak back there. I mean, everything we had literally matched up to what they have to counter them. I mean, how do you work out of that? I mean, you can definitely do it, but it's difficult. So I do believe we're going to double shield the Mawile here. We're not double, we're just going to shield the Mawile. We can go in Toxicroak. Why'd I do it? Because I wanted to sweep the team with Mawile. And, well, I mean, they didn't take out Deoxys, but put it in work, double KO. We still have the full health Toxicroak. Looking good onto our next opponent. So whenever they do release Mega Mawile raids, oh wow, I have a best buddy, level 40, 100% IV, ready to go. I am going to be hitting those raids like crazy when they bring out Mega Mawile. It is going to be awesome. I can't wait. Now, what is it super good at? Like, what is it useful for? You can't really use it in PvP. It doesn't have a great CP. I guess up against Dragon Raids, it has a really, really good resistance to it. I guess you can do something there. But remember, there's bonuses for these Pokemon. Bonuses for the Fairy and the Steel typing, which is going to be the first of the Fairy typing to get a Mega, as well as the Steel. So that's going to be pretty interesting. But we don't know when they're going to release these Megas. They can bring out Mega Aggron first. That'll be the first Steel. So anyways, we have a Scrafty up against the Mawile here. This isn't necessarily great. That counter and power punch is going to start adding up against our Steel type here and being Shadow. Going to go for another power punch, which is super effective. And we're getting that through. And wow, that was close when we were almost able to take him out, which it's good enough. That's fine. Perfect. Okay, so what do we do here? Going with Toxicroak, obviously. Get a little bit of farm, one counter in there. And what are they going to come back in? Looks like we're trying to swap into Sableye for some reason. I don't know why I did that. Maybe to get a little bit of extra damage. Okay, I'm going to have to pull a miracle here to make this happen. So going for the Mud Bomb. Okay, getting that last shield. That charm is eating away. Now here you go. Perfect example, Toxicroak. I mean, it's not taking super effective. It's able to survive. They try swapping in to potentially catch. We're able to get to a Sludge Bomb. Look at this thing. I mean, if you're a normal fighter, it would have been good night, sleep tight. I'll see you in the morning, make you breakfast. But not for Toxicroak, right? So up against our next opponent, we have Bastodon. They're swapping it to Deoxys defense, and, well, same song and dance, folks. If you're having trouble with that team, may I suggest a team to go up against it? And I present it to you right here. It'll get them pretty good. So they're going for a Rock Slide. We're letting it go through, able to farm them down there. And they're bringing in a Victory Bell. Shadow, going to go for the foul play. This is all bonus at this time, just the damage that we're doing here. They're farming up. I'm not worried about it. Going to come back in here with the Mawile. They're not able to get to a charge move. And Bastodon comes in, they back out, they're good to go. And I say, I agree. GG's. On to our next opponent here. Got a few more battles for you folks. And we're going to be met with a Ampharos Shadow. That's very interesting. So I didn't really know how this was going to play out too much. All I knew is do as much damage as fast as possible. Don't worry about Iron Head. Just hit Power Up Punch as fast as you can to do more damage with Fire Fang. They're swapping into Deoxys with a ton of energy on that Ampharos, and I have to keep that in mind. And you all keep that in mind as well, because you're going to see what happens to it. Oof. All right. So we're going for a lot more energy that we need here. I had the feeling that they would shield, and there it is. They did shield indeed. So that's why we built up extra energy. We're going to go ahead and shield as well, because we want to win this matchup. We're not losing to a Deoxys defense form with a Sableye. Farming them down, ton of energy. In comes the Ampharos. We're going for the foul play here. And they backed out. Whenever this happens, it could be lag, but more than likely it is because they force closed the app. They backed out because we were able to get our charge move through, and they had a ton of energy built up, and it probably just enraged them. So good game. Even if you rage quit, I don't care. It's a good game. On to our next opponent, and this is going to be our last battle here, folks. Now, this is probably a very bad... This is a bad lead for us. We're going to be able to do some good damage to the Empoleon for sure, but it's going to be able to beat us, unfortunately, here. We're going to shield this first one up, and they're swapping. Well, technically, would we be even? They didn't have to use a shield early on. They were going to have to use one after I got off the next Power Up Punch, but we're not in a great position. They're swapping into Mandibuzz, and, well, yeah, it's all bad. Sableye takes a decent amount of damage from it, and it is massively resisting the ghost moves, as well as a decent resistance to, well, a great resistance to the foul play, because we're taking kind of neutral damage from it because we are part ghost. So yeah, not great. Down we go. I'm going to go ahead and bring in the Mawile here to see if we can just absorb the charge moves at this point. Maybe Toxicroak can save us at the end here. Those quick moves are not really doing much. I think we're going to go ahead and let this go through. We want to farm down with Toxicroak. No, as soon as I see that, I'm like, okay, if they shield this, then maybe. But if they let it go through, I'm just going to back out. All right, GG's, I'll back out. Good game. All right, so with that said, traders, thank you for watching. That was going to be a 4-1 as well. Looking good with the Shadow Mawile, sweeping up some teams and taking some wins. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all next time. Take care.